Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I just wanted to get you guys another combo video real quick. I meant to get this to you guys out yesterday, in fact, but I got so tired from work and just made things been pretty hectic, so I haven't had time to really make any videos for you guys, but I'm going to try to catch up by this weekend, and yeah, just go from there. So anyway, I figured I'd just show you guys how Red-Eyes play since, you know, I just recently did the deck profile about a week ago, and yeah, that's generally it. I haven't made any changes whatsoever, so the deck's still very much the same. And the idea is to try to get Dragoon out as quickly as possible. And even if you're not able to, you can still get plenty of disruptions just to hold off until you can get Dragoon out later. So yeah, that's generally just the idea of what I wanted to show you guys today. So let me go and finish up shuffling here and we'll get started. Alright, so same as usual, I'll do two test hands, one going first, one going second. And let's see what we got. Okay, we got Black Metal Dragon, not too bad. Ooh, Red-Eyes Insight. Okay, the original Red-Eyes Black Dragon, Dragon Shrine, and last but not least, okay, so we got the Blackstone Legend. So there's actually a couple cards that I could work with here. Since I already have a Red-Eyes in hand, I'm not going to bother using, I'm not going to use Dragon Shrine to send a normal monster and then send an effect monster afterwards. I'm just going to go ahead and play the Dragon Shrine and just send one dragon only, in which case it's going to be my Dark Worm. Since, you know, it doesn't have to come into my normal summon or anything like that, so anyway, since I control no monsters, I'm actually going to go ahead and special summon that Dark Worm. And then we're going to go and search out the Gate 0. Alright. Next, what I want to do is go and activate the Red-Eyes Insight card. In which case, now I'm going to go ahead and send... Let's send the Black Flare Dragon, just because, you know, that way I can already have it out there. And with that, we're going to go ahead and add a Return of the Red-Eyes to my hand. And the reason for Return of the Red-Eyes is just that it's such a good card for this deck. It brings back any normal monster from the graveyard, and since Black Flare Dragon is treated as a normal while in the graveyard, that's pretty good. You could even bring back Dark Magician with this card, as long as you control a Red-Eyes monster. Alright, so now this is where things get a little tricky here. So, I think for sure we're going to go ahead and... Let's see, I'm trying to think how I want to go about this. What I'm actually going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and normal summon the Black Metal Dragon, simply because if I link it, as soon as it hits the grave, I can get a Red-Eyes card to my hand. So yeah, let's do that. We're going to go ahead and link off the two dragons. We're going to make Romulus. Alright, effective Romulus, chain link 1, Black Metal Dragon, chain link 2. I can add any Red-Eyes card that I want to my hand. Let's go ahead and add... We're going to go ahead and add the alternative Black Dragon. Or you can go Malefic Red-Eyes if you wanted to. But the reason I'm going for alternative is simply because I need to get the original Red-Eyes out of my hand. So, yeah. And then, of course, with the Romulus effect, we can still search out our copy of the Dragon Ravine card. Here it is. Okay. Alright, next up. What I want to do now is go and activate the Dragon Ravine. And then before I press on, I'm going to go ahead and tribute the Red-Eyes that's in my hand to special summon the alternative Black Dragon. And then with Ravine's effect, I'm actually going to go ahead and discard the Blackstone Legend. And we're going to go ahead and dump another dragon to the grave. In which case, let's send Tempest. Here it is. Okay. Alright. Let's see if I can pull this off correctly. Since I still got plenty of dragons left in my graveyard, what I want to do now is go ahead and use the Blackstone Legend effect, add it back to my hand by shuffling back the original Red-Eyes to my deck, because, you know, I definitely want to make full use of these. And then with Tempest, I'm actually going to go ahead and banish two dragons here. I'll banish the Black Metal Dragon and the Flare Metal. Or not Flare Metal, the Black Flare, I'm sorry. Special. And now what I want to do is go ahead and link off these two. We're going to go ahead and make Verte Anaconda. Alright. Next, I'll pay 2,000 life points. We're going to go ahead and send Red-Eyes Fusion. Oh, for those who aren't aware, the effect to send a fusion card to the grave cannot be hit with Ash because it's part of the cost. So you don't have to worry about Ash Blossom hitting this card. The only thing you'd ever have to worry about is effect failure or infinite impermanence. So that's really it. Or even Ghost Mourner too. Ghost Mourner could also stop this card from ever happening. So, but yeah, if your opponent never disrupt this before you activate the effect, then yeah, Ash Blossom essentially technically loses timing on it. So that's why you can't hit it. So anyway, what was I doing? You were sending Red-Eyes Fusion, so you can use the effect to fusion summon cards using materials from the deck. Send the Red-Eyes Black Dragon and the Dark Magician. And then what you're going to go ahead and do is make the Red-Eyes Dragoon. Now, of course, we're no longer allowed to special summon any more monsters, but that's fine. That's why you set the Red-Eyes, Return of the Red-Eyes face down. And at this point, you're pretty much you're pretty much good to go. You still have free discard fodder, which is basically your gate 0. And the cool thing about it is that during your opponent's turn, you can essentially activate this. Oh, let's put a dice on Dragoon so that way you know how many pops you have. And you could play this card, you could bring back your original Red-Eyes, and then the next turn on your standby phase, you draw a card. You can special summon Dark Magician with the effective Return of the Red-Eyes. Since you still control a Red-Eyes, you can special summon any normal monster from your graveyard, so that's actually pretty cool. So the cool thing is like Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon is an Omni Negate. You can like get rid of this, like I said earlier, and yeah, you're pretty much good to go. If your opponent tries to do anything during your turn, you can always negate it, discard, let's say, the Fushida, since it's not going to do anything. But the cool thing about it is that you can use its graveyard effect, banish it. Since you do control non-effect monsters, you can bounce back one of your opponent's monsters too. So like, there's plenty of forms of disruption. It may not seem like the craziest board, but that's just the general idea of how to get it started. Now, I really wanted to get into my Guard Dragon plays, but I just didn't have the cards to do it. So hopefully this time we'll be able to pull it off. All right. So let me go and shuffle everything back, and let's see if I could do better on the next hand. Now this time I'm going second, so generally you want to try to see if you can stop your opponent. Now the only hand traps I'm running in this deck is just infinite impermanence. I couldn't find much room for Ash Blossom, but hopefully we can do better. I'm actually considering taking out the Fushida and just max out on Noctivision Dragon, simply because the fact that it's a free special summon as long as you special summon a Dark Dragon monster, and since Fushida is a worm monster, it can potentially conflict with the strategy. So let me know in the comments of what you guys think. All right, so going second, like, even if you hard open Red-Eyes Fusion, it's not the worst thing in the world, because you could just simply play that. As long as you can stop your opponent from hitting it, you can just, go from there. So let's see what we got. Okay, Noctivision Dragon. I would have preferred to see this in my opening hand rather than Red-Eyes Black Dragon, but I made it work regardless. Okay, Red-Eyes Insight. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so this time we do have an infinite impermanence, so going second, that's actually really good. Oh no, we got gate 0 in our opening hand, so that's actually pretty bad. Okay, this time I got Tinya Fushida. So going second, really, this doesn't really matter as much now, because considering I didn't open up with the Dragon Shrine, it's fine. As long as I still have some form of discard fodder, I'm okay with that. So let's see what we got. So your opponent goes first, you want to disrupt them like at the right time. Like, let's say you were up against the, I don't know, Infernoble Knights. If they bring out the Neo Space Connector, you might want to hit it. That way they can't really go into Assault, and it just basically forces them to kind of like end their turn. But if they don't use the Neo Space Connector but still go into Assault, negate the Assault. Like, just wait till she activates the second effect and then just play this and you should be fine. Anyway, moving on. This time, your opponent sets up the board. He got disrupted at least one time. So you draw. Okay, this time I got Red-Eye Spirit. So I don't have the best hand because of the fact that I don't really have anything to work with, but on the bright side, I can at least kind of like stall out my opponent a little bit. So first I played the Red-Eyes Insight. Same thing before. I'm just going to send the Black Flare Dragon. And yeah, we'll send that. And this time we're actually going to go ahead and add my Red-Eyes Fusion, because I don't really have a consistent way to really bring out any of my dragon plays yet. I can at least, just start removing my opponent's, just get free spot removal, basically. Activate the Red-Eyes Fusion. You're going to send, Dark Magician and Red-Eyes Black Dragon. That way you can at least get your Dragoon out. And one thing I love about Red-Eyes Spirit is that since, Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon is a Red-Eyes, you can bring it back with this card. So it's pretty nice. So anyway, same as before, you bring out your Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon. I'll give it the dice again, so that way we know how many times it can pop a card in a turn. At this point, you basically just use this effect. Destroy 2 cards your opponent, well, 2 monsters your opponent controls, burn them for damage, and then you basically just enter your battle phase and attack over. And yeah, and of course, if your opponent tries to negate anything, like I said, you still have discard fodder. Just discard the Supreme King Gate 0 since it's practically useless to you right now. This card would get 1,000 attack points. So, I mean, even this card by itself can be a game ender if your opponent can't really stop it from ever bringing it out. So if your opponent somehow survives, you know, you can always sit your Red-Eyes Fusion, and you still got the Tanya Vushida for next turn, so that's also pretty good. So, and if you did, like I said, negate anything, this card would be at 4,000 attack points right now. Next turn, you know, your opponent sets up, well, tries to set up something, you negate it with the Red-Eyes Dark Fusion or Dark Dragoon. Discard this, you're good to go. He's now at 5,000 attack points. And then at your opponent's end phase, if you wanted to, you could play Red-Eyes Spirit, special summon back the original Red-Eyes. Since it is a Dark Dragon, now you're free to special summon the Noctivision Dragon. All right, next turn, you could draw. Heck, I don't even think I even need to go into my Guard Dragon plays at all now, but I could if I wanted to now. So let's see here. Well, for starters, you could either go ahead and overlay these 2 to make a Red-Eyes a Flare Metal Dragon, a Flare Metal Dragon, since we do have a target for it. Yeah, let's do that. Just go ahead and activate this. Well, summon this first. Then you'd activate. I'd probably just detach, let's detach the original Red-Eyes just to bring out the Black Flare. Normal summon, tribute, special summon another level 7 Red-Eyes. Overlay. At this point, it's over for your opponent because, like, now he has to pay life points to activate any effects, and not to mention you still got a Dragoon in your hands. So detach 1, or not, well, yeah, detach 1, and then special summon back the original again. And since we do control a non-effect monster, you could banish the Vushida, bounce back one of your opponent's monsters. So yeah, it's pretty nice. Yeah, that's it. Just as long as you control a face-up non-effect monster. And you basically just flat-out OTK'd your opponent with this. So, not too bad. Again, not like the craziest board, but if you can get to it, you'll feel satisfied in the end. Hopefully you guys enjoy this, and as always, I will catch you guys again next time.